Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Microsoft Data and AI South Florida user group. Thank you very much for making the time to be here with us today, which we have a fantastic presentation on the user group today, bringing you the latest and greatest in technology and what is available in the data and the AI spectrum. Now, thanks for making the time to be here with us. And before we get started, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you're notified when we have new presentations. As also, look down the description where you can review past presentations and have a link to the Microsoft Data and AI user group and the meetup. Now, today, we have a great presentation where we will be seeing Hugo Barona talking about ChatGPT, AI, and your data. It's outstanding presentation covering a lot of different and very interesting topics. Now, before we get started, drop a comment and let us know where are you located. As you know, here says South Florida, and that's my location. Now we want to know where are you located as well. Now, as far as during the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the live chat to enter your questions. The presentation has completed. Use the comment section and we will follow up with the speaker regarding your question. Now, without further ado, here we have Hugo. Welcome, Hugo, to the Microsoft Data AI South Florida.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Adriano. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. I hope you are having a great day, and I hope you find this presentation useful and also an opportunity for us to just cover some important topics when it comes to talk about generative AI and also ChatGPT that everyone knows about, but applying all of this in an enterprise environment and with your, applying in your company and organization environment, okay?
Fantastic. This is great introduction to what is coming here, folks. And in the meantime, can you please let us know where are you located at, Hugo?
So I'm based in Ireland, originally from Portugal, but yeah, I live in Ireland for at least the last 8 years already. And here I am.
Very excited. And can you tell a bit about your career, how it came about, and where you're at?
So yeah, just to summarize, my background is related to software development. I have been working with software development for 15 plus years. The last 6-7 years, I would say, when there was the beginning of cloud and some organizations considering cloud, I had the opportunity to work with a few customers to help them migrate and adopt clouds, more specifically Azure, and from that time I've been working on my daily basis in the cloud, doing different tasks, including some designs to build some robust solutions and architectures in the cloud to support the business and the customer's business and requirements, of course. And also on my spare time, I try to refresh my knowledge and skills, doing some Microsoft certifications and also other cloud provider certifications. And I'm not going to mention the names, of course. And on my spare time, yes, I try to differentiate a bit, split a bit my time to do different things. So contribute to the community by organizing a user group as well, named called Lunch and Learn. Also by delivering some training as a Microsoft certified trainer, and also, of course, being active since I'm using on daily basis cloud service. I try to be active with Microsoft product teams and provide some feedback about private preview of products, testing products, and also getting early access to the different products, including this service and service, including this one that we are going to talk about today, which is Azure OpenAI.
Excellent. That's very interesting. Let's keep on the same path over here and let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, all good. Let me
All right,
just
let me get
reposition
your
things.
slide over here. All right.
All good?
It's all you now. All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, so hello everyone once again. My name is Hugo Barona, and today we are going to talk about building intelligence applications using, in this case, Azure OpenAI and the Microsoft Data Platform and the related service. Okay, the idea of this session is more is essentially to present you a way that you can introduce generative AI and this service to your enterprise and adopt them and use them in a secure way, and of course in an enterprise scale environments. So a quick introduction about myself. So pretty much as I mentioned before, most of my experience has been related to software development. Also, on my last couple of years, I've been working as well as a cloud solutions architect, helping customers adopt and use clouds in the best way as possible. And on my spare time, I try to, of course, refresh my knowledge, follow up on the latest updates on those service, and try to contribute to the community, of course, as much as possible, in order to, of course, share a bit the skills and the knowledge that I obtained from the study for Microsoft certifications and more. So let's let's get started with the presentation. And before I start to talk about generative AI, one thing that I feel is when I'm talking with some people about AI in general, I feel that some people definitely they are not aware of the history of AI. They most of them they just know about AI because they heard about ChatGPT and generative AI and so on. But in this slide, what I want to highlight, which is really important, is the history of AI in a nutshell, in a high level, because of course there are many different people that contributed to the evolution of AI and to what we have nowadays and today. Okay, so as you can see here from this slide, what I want to essentially highlight, don't mind about the correct dates. Okay, it may be shift by 1 year or two, but the most important thing is to understand more and less the path that AI followed. So on 1950s, we had essentially the birth of AI. So there were a couple of initiatives to try to assess the capability of the machine to showcase human-like intelligence. Okay, so the idea is to understand if the machine would be able to mimic the human intelligence to perform different tasks. One of course, the initiatives and the projects that was really famous was, of course, the Turing tests by Alan Turing, and originally was called the imitation game. And the idea of this test was to evaluate exactly the machine's ability to showcase the human-like intelligence, okay, to understand if the machine would be able to think like a human, okay, and perform several tasks that we perform on our daily basis. Then on 1997, we had the big push for machine learning. The idea was to build these algorithms and models that could be then trained by using your own data. So these algorithms essentially, and these models essentially, look to the data points and extract the relevant features to train the model and learn from the data in order to then enable you to generate predictions to solve a given problem. Okay, this of course was applied in many different sectors, including, for example, many business try to apply and applied machine learning to try to predict, for example, number of customers for a given point in time. So you could, for example, for restaurants, you could predict more or less the number of customers that they would have next month, next year. Okay, of course, every time that these models would predict something, there is always a probability associated to the prediction. So that means there is always a chance that something goes wrong or goes slightly different from the prediction. Okay, but the idea that they realized was that there was a huge potential by leveraging machine learning to apply these prediction capabilities to many different business and sectors in order to identify the likelihood of certain events to happen. Okay. Then in 2017, it came the big push of deep learning. Okay, the deep learning essentially is just a technique of machine learning that is focused on building these multi-layer neural networks to mimic the structure of a human brain. And the idea is to just build these complex algorithms and models that are able to understand and process complex data, and then provide you the same capabilities, prediction capabilities, to accurately predict values for a given to solve a given problem. Okay, and last but not least, essentially from more or less 2021, there was this beginning of this big push of generative AI and cloud integration. Of course, generative AI was, I think, the early days of generative AI was in 1960s, but definitely there was a huge evolution on the generative AI on the last few years, and consequently, that's why everyone started to to know about generative AI, including of course, the ChatGPT, which became a famous model and in this case system that everyone can go there and use it. Okay, so we move from the history to now. I would like to just spend a few minutes to give you an understanding about what is the Microsoft portfolio for AI, because the reality is ChatGPT is great. We know about most of us know about all the capabilities that the ChatGPT has, but doesn't mean that it is a solution for every problem. Okay, so consequently, it's always important that we know what are the options that we have in terms of AI, so then you can understand, assess the scope and your requirements, and then understand which solution, and in this case, which service should be the best for you to use to solve the given problem that you have. Okay, so from this slide, what I want to highlight is, so if we start from the top layer, of course, we have the layer of the different applications that adopt and use AI, including Microsoft 365, of course, Dynamics 365, and any partner solutions that use AI as well. So as you know, on the Microsoft side, Microsoft is pushing strongly at the usage of Copilots. Okay, so you have Copilot for Microsoft Office 365 and Microsoft 365. You have Copilot for GitHub, GitHub Copilot and more, and even Windows Copilot. So essentially, as you know, these Copilots, of course, use AI behind the scenes. And essentially, the idea is to enable you to use AI by continuing to use the products and service that you have been using on your daily basis, including Office, including Outlook and more. So that means you don't need to transition to different applications in order to leverage the capabilities and the power of AI that we have available, okay? Then on the second layer, we have Power Platform. So if you are not familiar with Power Platform, essentially this is a no-code, low-code platform. The idea of this platform is to enable everyone, what's called the citizen developers, so people that don't have development background and development skills, software development skills, enable them to build applications and solutions using this platform, okay? So you have Power BI for the reporting, to build your reports. Can you confirm if you can hear me fine? I think my headset just turned off.
Yes, I can.
Can you confirm if you can hear me fine? I think my headset just turned off. So on the Power Platform, we have Power BI for the reporting and dashboards. We have Power Apps that enables you to build your apps. We have Power Automate to build your flows. And then we have the Power Virtual Agents to build your chatbots, so you can then integrate your chatbots with your applications, okay? Then the next layer, we have the Azure Applied AI Service, okay? On the Azure Applied AI Service, pretty much this service are pre-trained models that are designed to be applied in certain situations that are required, okay? So you have cognitive search, which is a search as a service that enables you to just use the service to integrate built-in search capabilities to your applications. You have form recognizer to just process forms and extract information from the forms. This was renamed actually to document intelligence, in AI document intelligence or intelligence document. I always confuse the name, but I think it's document intelligence. Then you have bot service, is a service that enables you to build your chatbots and publish them to different channels. Video analyzer to analyze videos, of course. Metrics advisor to analyze metrics and identify anomalies in the metrics, so then you can generate reports. And immersive reader to just provide immersive reading capabilities to your web apps and websites, okay? Then we have, of course, the Azure Cognitive Service, which is a set of pre-trained models to enable you to leverage different capabilities, including vision, so you can process image and identify objects in image, or even identify locations and people in image, okay? Then you have the speech that enables you to convert speech to text or text to speech and more. You have language to just perform any kind of different translations that you need from one language to the other. Decision, in order to identify, help you build models that enables you to identify if there are any anomalies with your data, in order to then enable you to take a decision about what to do. And of course, you have also Azure OpenAI, which is the service that we are going to talk today, okay? I will be talking about OpenAI, Azure OpenAI in the next few slides, but for now, just as a reference. And the last layer, it's essentially what they call the ML or machine learning platform. And in this, essentially in this layer, you have the Azure Machine Service, machine learning service. And the idea is to use this service so you can build your machine learning models in a easier way, okay? When we compare building these models traditionally, that, as you know, you would need to be running a lot of notebooks and a lot of build a lot of scripts and so on to just train and test out different algorithms to find out your model and your algorithm. This platform essentially enables you to leverage features such as the automated machine learning that enables you to just provide your data and configure the type of problem that you are solving. If it's a regression, so you need to calculate a numeric, or if it's a classification, so you need to label your data, the prediction, and then it will automatically test out the different algorithms against your data to see what is the algorithm that best performs against your data, using your data. And so then you can get the best model and then deploy your best model to different targets, including container instance or Azure Kubernetes service, and then start to use and integrate them with your applications. Okay. So essentially, this slide is just to give you a nutshell about the different service you have available. Don't worry. Of course, we are not. This service containing extensive volume of documentation. So and it's not in, of course, in 60 minutes that we are going to cover all the details about this service, but at least the idea here is to give you a high-level understanding about the different services you have available and what you can use as an alternative to the Azure OpenAI and the ChatGPT, okay, depending on your scenario, of course. Now, before we start to talk about Azure OpenAI, I want to just give you a quick introduction about generative AI in case you are not familiar with generative AI, or in case, of course, there are some concepts that you are not familiar with. Okay, so generative AI is essentially all about training models to create new contents and create new outputs that's in different formats, including text, image, and audio, and more. And the idea is to enable the models to create something new that was not originally trained for. Okay, so that means that the model is able to, of course, use the data that was trained for, and from that data understand the semantics and similarities of your queries, and then from that generates new outputs in the expected format that you are requesting for. Okay, when it comes to apply and use generative AI, you have many different use cases that you can use. Of course, you can use for automation to just enable your end users to produce new original contents without, in this case, without human intervention. So that means it can help you speed up many different processes in your organization, depending on the business. For example, organizations that work with contents like tourism, to tourism content to promote tourism in certain areas and countries. You can leverage this generative AI to produce original content. And then, of course, one of the things about AI, as I mentioned before, is you cannot, of course, the AI is not meant to replace us and human. So that means the output needs to always be verified because and checked by, of course, experts and professionals, because these models and these solutions can produce errors and invalid response as well. Okay. Also, apart from the automation, you also have the ability to provide personalization. What it means that you can personalize your content to target certain individuals and certain audience. Okay, so this is useful in scenarios that you need to tailor the content to specific audience, and consequently you can also use generative AI to achieve this. Okay, and last but not least, of course, this opens as well the door for innovation. So there are a lot of use cases that you can use these to build new applications that couldn't and it weren't possible to be built before. So you can use this generative AI to definitely build those new applications to support your business, or even create new business ideas that leverage the generative AI. Okay, this is just an high level explanation of generative AI. We are going to cover more in-depth concepts about generative AI during our during the demo. Okay, for now it's just to give you an understanding about what you can get from generative AI. All right, so Azure OpenAI service. Okay, so essentially the Azure OpenAI service, I believe you are familiar with OpenAI models, including ChatGPT, which is one of the models. So essentially, Azure OpenAI Services is a service that was built with the idea to provide a platform that allows us to leverage the power of the OpenAI models inside your ecosystem on Azure. Okay, so the idea here is you don't need to be using external service and exposing your data to external service in order to use these OpenAI models. Okay, that's the one of the big benefits of using this service. So anytime that you get questions,
It's working fine,
what
Hugo.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with my headset, but it's just disconnecting anyway. So anytime you get asked why should I use Azure OpenAI service? Remember, of course, there are different reasons you need. You may have that you need to use to justify the usage of Azure OpenAI, but definitely one of them is the reason of protecting and securing your data. So you need to ensure that you don't expose your data. Okay, so remember, as I saw before, I saw many people jumping to ChatGPT. Remember that this is a public service anyway, and it's a service that you don't have control over it. And I saw people going there and dropping or using enterprise data there to just run some prompts against ChatGPT to get some results. Okay, these may be a problem. Okay, especially depending on the company policies that you have. This may be a problem because definitely you are taking risks in this scenario. Okay, so as I mentioned, this service is all about providing you a platform that you can use your OpenAI models. Okay, and of course, this platform provides you many benefits, including, for example, you have built-in Azure integration with many Azure service available. It's easy. It provides you a ease of deployments, so that means you can easily deploy your models and then start to use your models with your environments and applications. It enables you to, of course, build a robust security and ensure the security of your data and your solutions using these models. Okay, and of course, last but not least, you have two additional important topics, which is first scalability. So you can scale massively. So if you have 10 or hundreds or thousands of applications, you can still connect those applications with your models and with your Azure OpenAI service, and then enable those applications and those the end users of those applications to leverage the power of OpenAI models. Okay, and last but not least, as you probably know, these OpenAI models are continuously suffering updates and receiving updates to just improve capabilities or also fix some issues. And consequently, of course, this Azure OpenAI service ensures that you are continuously receiving those updates in your models as well. So you are using the latest and greatest, okay? This service, of course, with all these capabilities, enables you to build an end-to-end solution to connect, in this case, your models, OpenAI models, with your applications in an easy way, okay? Using SDKs or using REST APIs or using the different ways that depending on your scenario, okay? When it comes to the support of the OpenAI models, it provides you support to multiple models. So on the category of the generative text models, you have support for GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 and also ChatGPT. You also have support for generative coding models, including Codex, and also you have support for generative image models, including DAL-E, okay? Today, we are going to see, of course, ChatGPT and DALL-E, and also GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 in practice, okay? And just to give you an idea about the different use cases that you can use, or also the use cases that have been used, that other organizations are using this service and generative AI to support their business. So you have the scenario of customer support and virtual assistants. So this is something that previously was used with AI as well, and you had, of course, chatbots being used to provide 24/7 customer support and virtual assistance. Also, you can use the OpenAI service as well to provide this support, bringing these generative AI capabilities as well. You can use it for content generation. So many different industries are using this service and generative AI to generate content for different purpose, okay? Also, you can use it for creative writing, to just in a question of minutes to write articles, technical articles, or articles related to different topics. And last but not least, one important one that I want to share with you is the fact that this can be massively used for research and knowledge exploration, okay? The important aspect of this service, when it comes, including, for example, ChatGPT, the one important factor and differentiator when we compare with the traditional systems, so search engines that we are used to use, for example, Google search and Yahoo and others, or Microsoft Bing. The main difference is typically on the search engines, as you know, all the data is indexed, and then typically it's doing search queries based on keywords and trying to assess the semantics of your query against the indexed content, and then tries to, of course, provide you results. But realistically talking, as you know, many times you get pages and pages of several results, and then you need to spend lots of time to just find the content you need, okay? Whereas with this service and also with generative AI, sometimes when you need to search for something, the services are able to use all the index data and then provide you an assertive and accurate output for your prompts and your queries, okay? So this is really a scenario where you can end up saving a lot of time while doing your research and knowledge exploration for a given topic, okay? So this is the use case. Of course, with this comes as well limitations. So some of the limitations that I want to share with you. First is the context sensitivity. So of course, this service and these models are sensitive to the context, okay? So that's why you have a lot of articles and a lot of people talking about prompt engineering and how you can build the best way as possible your prompts to run the queries against this service and get the expected results. So of course, this service definitely rely on the context, and consequently you need to be careful about the context, because different contexts may for the same intent may generate different results. Okay. Also, you need to expect, especially on ChatGPT, if you used it before, or if you go and use it, you will see that definitely you have some notes there, some information saying that in certain scenarios the response and output that you get may contain mistakes and may be invalid. Okay. And consequently, sometimes you may get nonsensical response. Okay. So what it means that depending the way you build your prompts, and also depending the data that the service was trained with, it may provide you incorrect response for the given query and prompt that you are running. Okay. And another important one is of course, in the same way of the context, it also these services and models are also sensitive to the input phrasing. Okay. So what it means, sometimes depending on the you may be using similar words but different. Okay. And the results and the output that you get may be different. Okay. And maybe may have some variations of the output that you get, due to the fact that you are using different similar words but different words to try to
You're good, man.
working.
Yeah, it is working just fine.
Okay,
I think
sorry.
it may not working back, looping back to you well, but it's working fine for you.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what's going on, to be honest, with this headset, but definitely it's not great. Apologies for that. So these are just some of the limitations I want to highlight with you. Okay. At the moment, just to highlight an important aspect here, the service is in public preview. So what it means, it has a restricted access. So you need to request access by using this the link in the bottom, at the bottom of the slide. So aka.ms/oai /access. And using this link, you can request, you can expose, you can share your scenario, the scenario that you want to use this service, and then request access. And once you get approved, then you will have access on your Azure subscription you will be able to create your Azure OpenAI instance and start to use the models. Okay. With that, we just move to the demo. I just wonder, for now, do we have any questions? It doesn't look like.
All right, thank you very much. Hugo, let's take a look at here. Folks, remember, if you got a question, just like the scroller down below, be saying, use the live chat, enter your question. I do not see here. Just want to say hello to Philip. Thanks for joining us from California. And folks, remember, use the live chat, drop your question. Thank you, Hugo, and it's all you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's now move to the demo. On the demo, of course, in the instance of time, I had to prepare the demo in advance, but I'm going to just share details with you to show you how you can deploy the solutions and use it as well. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring here the browser, and first we go to the link that I just shared with you, so aka.ms/oai /access. Once you use this link, you can just fill in this form to request access to the Azure OpenAI service. You just need to provide the details about yourself, details about your subscription, including tenant ID and subscription ID, and then of course describe the scenario that you want to use this service. Okay. Once you request the access, then you should be able to create your Azure OpenAI service instance. Okay, I'm going to just open one of the instances that I have here that I created previously, and once you open and you create the instance and you open the Azure OpenAI on the Azure portal, you have here this option to go to the Azure OpenAI Studio. Also, you can use directly the link oai.azure.com and then /portal, and you should be able to go to the studio as well. On the studio, you need to be sure, of course, that you select the resource that you want to use, the Azure OpenAI instance. Once you select, on the left, as you can see here, we have many different options, including the playgrounds. The playgrounds enables you to test out the different models that are available here on Azure OpenAI. And also you have the management that enables you to manage your deployments, the models, data files in case you want to provide your own data to train the models, quotas to access the different quotas you have applied to your models, and content filters that are currently in preview that enable you, as the name implies, enable you to create filters to the content, so to filter the content that are accessible to the users, okay, to the end users and the users of your models. Okay, for now, what I want to do is I want to go first to the chats. These chats, as you can see here, it pretty much gives you an experience similar to ChatGPT. Okay, the interface is a bit different, but definitely you can come here and run the prompts that you would do using the ChatGPT. In this case, I'm going to say, okay, I want to I need an email template to welcome my new boss. Okay, so I want the model to essentially provide me a template that I can an email template that I can use to just welcome my new boss. So as you can see here, pretty much once you just run the prompt, you get, of course, the output that is what you expect. In this case, you have here the subject, you have here some intro, and then you have here the different text that you can assess if it makes sense in your scenario, and then use it. Okay, another important detail that I want to show you is, for example, let's just maybe clear these chats to just make it a bit more a bit easier to see this. Now let's see one thing. Well, let's imagine that I want to find a recipe, a recipe to cook some food for my wife. Okay, but I know that she is intolerant to lactose. Okay, she is lactose intolerant. So of course I can go to Google and do some search and try to find out the different recipes. But as I told you, this takes time. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say to the ChatGPT and say, okay, I want a recipe to cook to my wife. She is to give the context, she is lactose intolerant, and I want the recipe to contain coconuts. Okay, in any of the forms of oil, milk, or extract. Okay, let's see what is the output that I get. Okay, here we go. So clearly you can see here I have a delicious recipe for you that contains coconut milk. It's called coconut curry chicken. Okay, And then you have here all the ingredients, okay, for you to cook this coconut chicken, okay. And then also you have the, as you can see here, the instructions for you to cook this as well, okay. So as you can see here, in a matter of a minute or two, you can give the context, you can build your prompt, and you can get an accurate recipe for your scenario, okay. Now, another thing that I want to show you is DALL-E model. You have also here, as part of this studio, you have here the playground that you can enable you to play around with this model. And I'm going to just write here some prompts. Let's say robots eating spaghetti. Okay. Let's see what this brings. So as you can see here, of course, these models, they need to be improved. They will be improved for sure. But it's amazing to see, as you can see here, from a prompt, from some text describing your intents, then you can see the output that the model is able to generate by itself, okay? Another one, let's see what we get here. For example, people attending, just to be similar to this event, to this session, people attending a conference with the speaker talking on stage. Okay, let's see what we get here. Here we go. It's not that bad, to be honest. So we have definitely here a speaker. It looks like a stage here, and we have here people attending the conference. Okay, so as you can see here, the potential that you have from using these models is huge, because once this, of course, starts to learn and provide you more accurate image based on your prompts, then it's a massive game changer, because if you need to use creative content in your work, including image and so on, you know how time consuming it may be sometimes to just create original content, original image, given for a given context, okay? So this is just to give you an idea. Don't forget about one thing. Azure OpenAI, one of the things that I want to show you is, as
Quick
you can
question
see...
before you transition there, Hugo. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries.
First of all, that robot eating spaghetti was funny, man.
I'm going back to the DALL-E.
Yeah. So here we have a few questions, right? So sorry for interrupting. So the first question, thank you very much for making the question, folks, and use the live chat to answer your question. The presentation has completed. Please use the comment section and we will follow up. First question. Oh boy, there's quite a few here. Hold on. All right. Can we call Azure OpenAI URL to other Azure services, such as Azure Data Factory? If so, what is basic information is needed to do that in terms of security? Example, role-based access or something else to call it from ADF. Do you want me to repeat? Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear. So essentially, see, the Azure OpenAI provides you, as I mentioned before, different ways that you can access your models and use your models, including you have a REST API. So, for example, if you have a data factory process there, processing your data, one of the ways that you can do it is, of course, by just doing a call to the REST API, providing your prompts, your inputs, and then just processing the output that you receive from the model, okay? If you are building applications, still you can use the REST API, or you can use the SDKs available. So you have SDKs to different programming language. So consequently, it enables the developers to just, use the friendly way in code to interact with these models and these APIs, okay? And then of course you have as well integration with different technologies, including PowerShell and more. Okay, so of course it all depends on the scenario that you are using, but definitely you can use the REST API and make a call from different service, Azure service, your local HTTP clients that you can use from your local machine to just call the model and test the model, or even from your own applications. You just instantiate an HTTP client and then you just make the request. As long as whatever you are using, a service or app or a component that you are using, as long as it has internet access and it has outbound access to call the REST API, that's fine. And then you just need to provide your prompts, your input, and then process outputs.
So it would be that the Azure OpenAI has endpoint available where they can leverage the REST. The authentication will take place for that call, and then get the response. As you said, you can pass the prompt there as input after the authentication process, of course.
Of course.
Next, is Azure OpenAI a similar to Azure Prompt Flow? Are you familiar with Azure Prompt Flow?
Yeah, so see, prompt flow, as far as I know, it's pretty much a tool that you can use to streamline the entire development cycle of your AI solutions. Okay, so that means it's something that is meant to help you and support you building those AI solutions from end to end. Okay, as far as I know, you can integrate the prompt flow with Azure OpenAI. Okay, but in here it's focused, of course, on building your models. Then the way you use your models, it's open to you. So it gives you flexibility for you to decide the way you use your models. Okay.
Fantastic.
So it's not the same.
All right, fantastic there. And hold on 1 second. I do have another question here. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Prompt. And next, I should have highlighted that. Sorry about that. Next question. Are you saying that this method of chatting use a large language model hosted by OpenAI, but does provide privacy in lieu of when we look at public ChatGPT?
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So this is one of the advantage of using Azure OpenAI. So what it means, as you are going to see here, well, as you see here, I'm on my Azure subscription. I have my instance here. I can have my data. So this resource group that I created here is actually part of the repositories, the public available official repositories provided by Microsoft for the Azure OpenAI. And the data definitely is stored here. So you have here, for example, you have here the search service. That's if I go here, I have here an index that in this case contains the content. Okay. This example, I'll be in a minute. I will go there to the example, to the repo, and I will explain you the example. But essentially, to summarize, this sample that is provided by Microsoft is essentially an enterprise. It's a ChatGPT with using your enterprise data, your custom data. But this data is provided by in documents, okay, PDFs. So essentially what this does is, as you can see here, we have here the content of the documents, and we have what's called the embedding. Okay, the embedding is essentially a vector of numbers that represent the raw content. Okay, and in here you can see that This here contains a document intelligence instance that is used to just process the PDFs, extract information, and then index the information to Azure Search. Okay, I'll explain in a minute why they are using Azure Search here. Okay, I don't want to jump on the topics, otherwise it will start to get a bit confusing.
Fantastic. I'll let you go. I do have some more questions, but later on. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. So let me just bring then. So I just showed you a bit how is the experience with Azure OpenAI. One thing that I want to highlight here is first the deployments. Okay, as you can see here, you have here the deploy. I have in this case two deployments, one for GPT 3.5 and another one for the embedding other. Okay, to create the embeddings. Okay, you can also edit your deployments as well and select the different versions and also access advanced settings as well. You have the different models that you have available here as well. So the models that are supported by Azure OpenAI. Some models are not available here because they are in private preview, of course. Data files, this option is all about bringing your data sets to train and test your models. Okay, this is really important. I will show you in the demo how you can use this. Okay, but of course the one that I'm going to show you using the official sample provided by Microsoft is a manual process where of course if you are going to work on your enterprise to build the solution, of course you need to automate the way that you index the data to your model and train the model and etc. Okay, so essentially the idea, my suggestion would be, of course, you need to somehow track the content changes. Okay, in case that content change, you need to track those changes, and then you need to ensure a way. For example, you can build a event-driven architecture that's in real time receives the events from the data source, if it's a Azure SQL or an Azure storage, and then you have something triggering like an Azure function or whatever you want, or a logic app, to just force the indexing of the content and then retrain the model. Okay, but essentially you can also bring the data sets here. Okay, and you can configure your data sets with your data to train and test your models. Then last but not least, quotas. You can see the different quotas you have here in terms of usage. This is important because, of course, when you start to adopt these models to your organization in an enterprise environment, you need to always plan for capacity. So you need to understand what is the capacity required from your end users and your applications. So then you can assess if the capacity is provided by the models and this service. Okay. All right. Just to move forward with these things, I just want to show you something before I start the demo of the samples. Okay. First, this is I'm going to just post there in the chats the link. Okay, for you. So this is just the samples of OpenAI that you have available on GitHub. You can use this link to just access the different end-to-end solutions that Microsoft provides to you. Okay, you have different scenarios here, as you can see it, including enterprise ChatGPT, including call center intelligence, and including enterprise logging, insight generator, and more. You have many different scenarios here available with different solutions that you can leverage out of the box. Okay. Another thing that I want to show you is so the one that I was talking about. I'm going to send the link in the chat as well. Okay. Hopefully you can see my link. So this is the link for the ChatGPT plus enterprise data using Azure OpenAI and cognitive search. Okay. So what is the idea of this solution? As you can see here, essentially this solution has some UX, some interface there, and then the interface communicates with an orchestrator The orchestrator then will orchestrate the user queries, okay? And first we'll run those queries against cognitive search. It will then get the results, and using those results, it will run send the initial query or prompt from the user, plus the knowledge extracted from cognitive search to Azure OpenAI, okay? This is using a pattern called retrievable augmented generation. And what it means that here you are adding information retrieval system to control the data that you provide to your large language model, okay, to, in this case, to the OpenAI. This is really useful in scenario that you want to control what is what content the users have access to. Okay, so for example, if you are indexing a lot of content, but you don't want to expose all the content to the users, this is a way that you can actually control this. Okay, by just using the what's called the RAG architecture. Okay, or pattern. Okay. And then, of course, you have here on the right, as you can see, multiple data source that you can use, including files, database, and Cosmos DB, that you can use to just index the content to cognitive search. So then you can run the queries against that content and then provide the results to Azure OpenAI. So then the model can use that content to provide the output for the user. Okay. All right. So what I want to also share with you is you have all the details here about the features that you have available for this solution. This is a solution that you can immediately clone the repository on your local machine and start to use it, deploy to your environment and start to use it. Of course, remember that you need to first request access to Azure OpenAI. Once you have the access, you should be able to use these solutions, okay? Now, one important detail I want to show you is just to avoid to just help you easily run this is this as an option for you to run it in your local environments. But of course, this as you can see, these dependencies, including the Azure Developer CLI. Okay, so if you are not familiar with Azure Developer CLI, it's pretty much just similar to the Azure CLI, but it's focused on to the developers and to the development lifecycle, and to enable the developers to easily provision and run applications on Azure while they are developing their solutions. Okay, then of course Python, Nodes, Git, and PowerShell. Okay. Once you have all of these, you should be able to then just run a few commands like azd out login to just authenticate, then the azd init, and then the T for template, and then you just provide the name of the template. And this essentially will clone this repository to your local machine. So then you can start to deploy this. Okay, you deploy this, of course, by running the azd up command. So then it enables you to deploy all the components to Azure. Once you deploy, as you can see here, you will get a link to the web app that you can open and start to use it. Or also you can go to your, of course, your Azure environment using Azure Portal and access the different resources there. Okay. Let me just demo you quickly the app. So if I go here to the app, and if I just open, so the app is deployed to an app service instance. I'm going to just open here the URL for the app service. Okay, and here we go. I have here a similar experience with ChatGPT, okay, but in this case using custom data, okay. This data you have here available on the GitHub repository as well. So if you go here to the data folder, let me just zoom in a bit. If you go here to the data folder, then you have here the different PDFs. As you can see here, you have Northwind's ELF plus, so ELF plans and the different benefits associated with those plans. You have employee handbook as well, with the different information about relevant to the employees. And at the end, as you can see, it has as well job roles here, the different job roles in the organization. And then you have as well here a um, role library document PDF that describes the responsibilities and qualifications required for each one of the roles. Okay, so just to quickly show you a bit how this looks like. For example, what is included in the North Health Plus plan that is not standard, and here we go. It provides you all the information for the prompt that you are just running, and also, as you can see, it provides you citations with the links for the documents that used this service used as a source to provide this output, this response. Okay, so then of course you can open the document and verify the response to ensure that you are getting accurate results. Okay, one important detail as well that I want to show you is you can see as well, of course, the thought process that this service is using. This is really important to understand what is the thought and what is the flow that the service is using and the model is using to get the response that you got. Okay, but one thing that I want to show you is, let me just refresh the page again. So I have here another suggestion here, which is related to the roles that we just saw there. Okay, so for example, what does a product manager do? And then it provides all the explanation for what are the responsibilities of a product manager, and you have here the citation again. But in this case, I want to just to show you the capability of this to generate new content. I want to say, okay, I want to apply for a CEO role, but I need let me just zoom in, sorry. Yeah, but I need your help to write my CV to align with the responsibilities and qualifications required. Okay, let's see what this provides. Here we go. So as you can see here, pretty much it's just writing the CV for me. Okay, with let it just write. So as you can see here, it pretty much provides you the objective, the summary, the experience. So you can put your experience where you worked as a CEO or COO, or the different roles you worked with. And also you have here the responsibilities for the role, the qualifications that you have, and then of course any reference that you may find it useful. Okay, so the idea, what I want to show you here is the how easy it is for you to start to index. For example, let's talk realistically about your organization. Okay, most probably your organization has documents with data. Okay, so that means quickly you can of course get all those PDFs, all those Word documents, and so on. Start to process them using AI service such as the document intelligence to just extract content from your documents, start to index them, and then give it a try with this tool. Okay, and then probably you can showcase and do a demo for your organization, for your teams, to show them what is the potential of this. Sorry, and adopting this can be used internally for your teams to find information and get um, creative content from that information, or can also be used externally for end users using your applications, so you can integrate with this solution. Okay, the second one I want to show you quickly is just I'm going to just drop there the link in the chat for the second one and this first one as well. Okay, so these two repositories are really useful. You can use them to pretty much build your demos and showcase this service to your teams. The second one I want to show you is this is essentially a chat experience using Azure OpenAI, pretty much similar to ChatGPT, but in this scenario, it gives you the opportunity for you to use your own data, okay? And again, you have here, so you have here all the instructions about how to deploy these to Azure and all the steps. You also have this deploy to Azure button that enables you to quickly deploy these components to your Azure subscription. Remember, this has a dependency of you having, of course, the Azure OpenAI, so you need to request the access. You also have here on the image, you have here the architecture. Again, as you can see here, we have essentially here an app service, the interface for your end users, and then essentially it's using document intelligence here to extract content, then index content to cognitive search, and then the app service then use the prompt to first query cognitive search and then prompt Azure OpenAI to get the response and return back the response. Okay, and then optionally it's using here as well Cosmos DB for history to just have a history of conversation, Azure Monitor to just give to monitor your resource, Microsoft Entra for authentication, and Azure Key Vault to just store your secrets that you are using in this solution. Okay, so what I want to now show you is, if I go here to the second resource group, if I open the app service again, so I have here the solution, okay, the chats. What I want to, of course, do is I'm going to open here a chat first. Okay, not two, sorry, yeah, one. And I'm going to, as you can see here, you can use the general chat or you can start with the file. Okay, I'm going to use the general chat first to just show you one of the limitations of this, and also ChatGPT. Remember, if you go to ChatGPT, sometimes apart from you exposing your enterprise data, you also need to consider that ChatGPT has limited knowledge. Okay, so it has knowledge based on the data that was used to train the model. So that means if you have something specific or something really recent, okay, probably you go to ChatGPT and ChatGPT doesn't know about it. Okay, I know that now ChatGPT, just an FYI, you have here the GPT-4 that will be able to browse the data in the search engine, including Bing, and it will be able to then pick the content, but still it's not trained to use your own data. Okay, so that's why you need to definitely assess the scenario. If you need in an enterprise environment, if you need to use your own data, your organization data, then definitely I wouldn't recommend using ChatGPT, the public one, okay? Instead, of course, because even you couldn't use it because it doesn't know the data of your organization, okay? So definitely it's where in those scenarios that you can consider to use Azure OpenAI service, okay? So we are going to use the general. I'm going to just ask just an example, a basic question. Who is Hugo Barona, okay?
Just a second, Hugo.
Mhm.
Sorry, can we step back just for 1 minute before you engage on this new part?
Yeah,
Is
sounds
that
good.
possible? Okay, stand by for a second. We have a lot of questions. It's very exciting to see the engagement from everyone. So let's. Are you going to cover price before the end of this presentation?
Well, price is not. I'm not planning to cover price on this. To be honest, price is something that's
It's
is
subject to
still.
the subscription itself, right?
Yeah, it's subject. No, and also it's subject to, of course, to the models used and the volume of. One thing that you need to consider about the pricing is, remember, if you are using the model, you if you are doing 50 queries or prompts, or if you are doing 1,000 prompts, you are not paying the same, of course. So it's the price. One of the factors of the price is the number of prompts that you are making to the model. Okay. So, but yeah, given in the essence of time, I will not be covering pricing today.
Understood. All right. So,
If
okay,
you want,
okay,
I
got
think.
it. First question.
Mhm.
Can you please give more information? Oh, yeah, we just talked about that. Next. There we go.
So
Does
generative AI.
Microsoft like OpenAI? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Adrian, just
Go
quick
ahead.
one on the pricing. If you go to the pricing calculator, I'm going to just drop there the link, okay? And if you just filter for Azure OpenAI service, you have here the, let me just clear this out to just make it clean. So if you just select OpenAI service, then definitely you have here the ability to calculate your pricing there from. You can provide some estimates for the prompts, as I told you. So let's imagine that's 1,000 prompts per month, and completions as well, 1,000. And here we go. You have estimates monthly cost of $3.50. Okay. Of course, you need to assess these values and assess as well the model that you are going to use and so on. Okay.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. There we go, folks. Live. We got the answer for the question of the pricing. In other words, right here. Information about cost and pricing. The answer is check out Azure pricing calculator. And a quick Google search, you're going to be able to locate that. Drop down, check the what model is being used. That's a big factor there. All right, next question. Does Microsoft, like OpenAI, have an opt-out option to present the usage of user data to train the model?
Well, yes. So you can control when you are training the model. You can control what data you use to train your model. So essentially, by using the data sets and by controlling the process, the training process for your model. You know.
All right, great.
So
That's
while
there.
training, you control the information that you provide to your models. Okay, this is not different. For example, as I told you, the Azure Machine Learning Service is another service that's it's exactly the same model. So you go there, you create your data sets, and you control the data that is being used by your models as well to build predictive models.
All right, great answer there. Philip, let us know. Did I answer your question? And we still have more questions, but let me get you just to the last one here so you can continue there in just a minute, okay?
Of course.
All right. Do we have to use Azure Cognitive Search
No,
to, as generally or
yeah,
always, to
I
connect with database and files for OpenAI? Can connect them directly?
Yeah, so I saw that question. So definitely you can connect your data sets here, and you can train your models, and you're not required to use cognitive search. Cognitive search is definitely a way for you to apply, as I told you, the retrieving augmented generation architecture that enables you to control what data is being used in your models. Okay, so that means you use all your data to train your models, but then if you want to limit the amount of data that your users are able to use, one way you can use you can apply the RAG architecture, and you can use Azure search for that, cognitive search for that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm going to let you continue. Just keep in mind we have some more questions. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone, for being so engaged in there. Let us know whether your questions are being answered as well. If you have a question during the presentation, use the live chat. Once we complete, use the comment section and drop a question. Thank you very much. Hugo, ready? It's all you, man.
Okay, 10 minutes and we should be fine to just finish. I'm just giving it a bit of more time so I can cover enough top content for you to just definitely take something from this presentation. Okay, so quick one on this demo here. This sample, as I told you, is available on GitHub, on the GitHub official repository provided by Microsoft. So I'm going to just ask who is Hugo Barona. Of course, this doesn't know who I am. That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's just an example. Of course, I can also ask what the open AI models are supported by Azure OpenAI. Okay. And as you can see here, we have here an answer that says, okay, supports various OpenAI models, including GPT-3, DALL-E, and DALL-E, okay? But it's not really, you know what I mean? It's not really clear what are the models that it supports, okay? And consequently, what comes out is, of course, some of these models. If we go here to the, let me just bring here the link. If we go here to the documentation, Microsoft documentation, um, if you just put on Google Azure OpenAI service models, you have here this article that explains you all the models that are supported. As you can see here, we have GPT-4, GPT 3.5 embeddings to just create those vectors with numerics, as we saw there on the Azure search, as I showed you, cognitive search. DALL-E for image, which is in preview, and Whisper as well, which is in preview, that is used to transcribe and translate speech to text. Okay, so of course the model is not able to provide this data. So what I did, I have here a document. Okay, I just created a simple document. Okay, first I just put here my bio, okay, about who I am, and then I put here some contents about Azure OpenAI. I'm going to just zoom in so you can see the contents about Azure OpenAI service, and then I put here the model supported. It was just a copy paste from the documentation, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just close these documents. I'm going back to the application, and I'm going to create a new chat. Okay, this time on this chat, I'm going to say I would like to chat using a file. I'm going to provide my own file, okay, and I'm going to upload. Here we go. The file is uploaded, as you can see here, successfully. So now I'm going to say who is Hugo Barona. Here we go. Now I get pretty much a description, aligned with my bio. Now I'm going to do the same thing, the same question. I can actually copy from here because I'm lazy. So what are the OpenAI models supported by Azure OpenAI? And this time, as you can see here, clearly I have a clear response about the supported models, including GPT-4, GPT 3.5, embeddings, DALL-E, and with Whisper. Okay, so the idea of this is to show you how you can start to get your documents, start to easily build some kind of automation, some scripting, whatever you prefer, to just process those documents, submit those documents to a service such as Document Intelligence to just extract the content from those documents, and then start to index contents. You can index to the cognitive search, you can index directly to the OpenAI, train your models, and start to provide the models to your teams, to your end users, and to the people that are intended, depending on the scenario that you are covering. Okay. With that, last but not least, we are going back to the slides. And one thing I want to share with you is I just wrote a blog post about this in case you want to just revisit some of the concepts about that I covered here. You definitely can. I'm going to just open here quickly. So you can just have a look to the article that I just wrote here, or to the blog post that I just wrote here. I just explained about all the different specifics of OpenAI. You have an additional one here that I just built these architecture diagram with I try to be as realistic as possible about a solution that is realistic applying in an enterprise level. So as you can see here, you have your end users on different devices. You have the web app that is the front end. The web app, of course, does the queries to the Azure search, pulls the search results, and then runs the prompts to Azure OpenAI. Also, you may have what I call it here a customer. Well, sorry. When using the Azure search, you have two ways that you can use. You can use the pull API and the push API to index your contents. On the pull API, I give you here. Let me just remove all those reds. On the pull API, I give you here the example here with this supported data source. What it means. It means that you can create your Azure Cognitive Search instance. You can create an indexer, and then you can configure the indexer to just use one of those data sources, including Cosmos DB, storage, and SQL database. Or you can use the push API model. What it means you have a custom components, in this case, the indexer. You can use an app service, you can use an Azure function, or even you can run on your local machine, or essentially run a service that is able to pretty much pull the content from your data source. Can be a database that is not supported by Azure Cognitive Search, or it can be files located somewhere. You pull the content, and then, of course, you push the contents to the Azure Cognitive Search using the REST API, using the software development kit or SDK, or any way that you prefer. Okay. And then, of course, while indexing these contents, you can also use AI service such as the translator. For example, in scenarios, imagine that you have a scenario that you need to translate the content to multiple language to support end users to run the prompts and queries in different language. Okay, one way that you can do is, of course, use the AI service, in this case the translator, to just translate from the source language such as English to a target language such as French, Spanish, Portuguese, whatever language you need. And then you index the content to Azure Search, Cognitive Search, and also you can use, as well as we saw there, the document intelligence to process your documents, extract information from those documents, and then push to the Azure Cognitive Search. Okay, so you have the. I'm going to just share the link there in the chat, and let me just. Okay, okay. I'm going to use the private chat. Adriano, if you can just drop that link for me there in the chat. I'm not able to use the chat anymore. Don't know why, but yeah. And with that, pretty much we just close our demo and our session. In case you want to connect, feel free. You have the link to my blog, and you have there all the links to connect with me if you want. I hope you enjoyed. I'm open to any questions that you have there. I can't hear you, Adrian. You are on mute.
I didn't pick up my voice and turn it off the mute. First of all, fantastic presentation there. Hugo, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for making the time to be here with us again. And let's check it out. We have plenty of questions, definitely. and I was asking the link you provided. Is it a link to the article, to your Parasite, to your blog that you just showed?
Yeah. So the I use the private chat there. I
Yes,
share the link there. You just need to post there in the comments if possible, and well, I can post there as well.
I
So
got it. I'm writing that right now.
okay, perfect. And I'm also going to post as well because I see that people are saying that they can't see the links. So let me just drop
I
there the
will, and folks, remember, I'll use the description below. I will add the references that I'll be asking Hugo here to send it to
so
me after the presentation. Fantastic presentation. I can see a lot of enthusiasm and interest as we can see here. So I will not be surprised for you who missed the live presentation to have an opportunity to ask your question. If you're not asking right now using the live chat, remember, use the comments section below. And very important, remember to like, drop a comment, support the group, support the presenter on this outstanding presentation. Let's get back to the questions. 2 seconds, Google.
yeah. I'm just checking the questions there in the chats. I think the next one is related to CI/CD
They have
pipeline there.
cognitive functions
Um,
connected. No, there is one before there is questions.
okay.
Uh, 1 second, there is one that I didn't follow up, which is, can you please let us know what that provided? Okay, there we go. We did the pricing as the last question. Then we talk about Microsoft opt-out. We did that
Opt-outs,
question,
yeah, we did that as well. And
right?
there is a CI/CD. It's the next one.
Yeah, there we go. Let
So
me post it over here too so everyone can see. All
yeah,
right, go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah.
Hugo. So
Let
the
me
question
just.
is,
Mhm.
do we have to use Azure Cognitive Search always to connect with database and files for OpenAI, or can we connect directly?
No, you can use the configure the data sets as I showed you there in the studio, and then connect your files with models. Okay. So yeah, definitely you can depending on the data source you are using, you may be able to use the data set there, or you may be able to build something to push the content. Okay. To train your model and index to the cognitive search as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question. How to deploy Azure OpenAI into different environments? Example, test, dev. Can it be done by CI/CD pipeline?
Yeah. So let me just see if we have here Azure Open AI. So essentially summarizing, Azure DevOps, there is support there to for you to use your existing pipelines use the existing actions to integrate with Azure your Azure OpenAI instance and models, and then manage the lifecycle of your models and implement CI/CD. Okay, for those that are not familiar, CI stands for continuous integration, CD continuous the delivery. Okay, or continuous deployment.
Fantastic. Remember, folks, drop a question and let us know if we're answering the question as well. Not me, but
Mhm.
better said, Hugo. Okay. Can you do tasks like accounting or law? Much of the topics, right? So, yeah, relate to the tasks according to a particular country's law.
Yes. So see, when we are essentially, let me just show you here. When I'm create, as you can see here, when I'm creating my Azure OpenAI service instance, I need to select a location. So that means if you have one way that you can approach this is if you have different countries that you need to use different data, you can create separate instances in different locations and then index the data accordingly to the different locations, to the different instance.
Awesome. So the model would be under the underlying, I think it would be fall under the region here. I can see very well right now. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
according to the location, right? And we
yeah.
established that, and the model will fall under that. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
All
and
right.
even you need to understand that, as you know, on Azure, typically when it comes to rollout, service and compatibility, it's not big bang. So that means they don't roll out for everything. So that means depending on the region that you pick, you may have certain models available, and other regions you don't have yet the models available. Okay, so that's another difference as well. So when you are giving it a try, be careful about to check what are the regions where each of the models that you want to use, what are the regions that it supports.
All right. So service availability subject to location. So check out
Mhm.
on the services page on Microsoft. You can go to service page and see what is available for the region and location that you are selecting there, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll go. Let's get on to the next question. Use cognitive search always to connect with database and files, or does OpenAI? All right. Do we can
We
we
covered
connect
already.
to, yeah, to
Yeah, we covered
database and
already. Yeah, we
files directly?
you can go to your as I showed you here. So if we go back to the studio quickly on OpenAI Studio, and if you just create your data set and you just provide, for example, your file, in this case, as you can see, your data file, then data set, and you can drop your file in JSON-L formats with your data. Okay, or as you can see, you can import from your Azure Blob as well. So for example, if you have storage accounts with files, you can configure to connect the storage account with your OpenAI Azure OpenAI instance, and then start to import your files there to train your models as well.
Fantastic. Going through the questions here. And folks, remember, is the question answered? Let us know as well. And don't forget to drop a comment. I'm not seeing here. I just added the comment again here, Hugo, just in case
Mhm.
if you don't see it. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's our feedback here from Philip. Thank you very much, Philip. We really appreciate you engaging as well, and contributing here to make even better session, as well as our colleague over here that goes under Azure Data Real World Scenarios.
Thank you, Philip.
Yeah, folks, you have just a few seconds here to finish it up. Hugo is out on the other side of the pond, as I know Azure Data Real World Scenarios is also there on the other side of the pond.
Mhm.
So it's a bit late. So, folks, remember, drop a comment as the session completes. And you have about 30 seconds to answer any final questions here for Hugo, so we can wrap it up. Remember, come back, take a look at the session, look at the sections in the session that are interesting for you. Drop a comment. There we go, Hugo. Reach out to Hugo. You can see his LinkedIn page here. Also in the description, I'm 100% sure we have links to Hugo blog. We have links to his LinkedIn, to his Twitter account as well. I think that's you provided those three items. I remember by heart.
Yeah,
All right.
so essentially, see, what I have to say is, even if you have questions after this session, and if you are working on building some demos or sample applications that you want to showcase to your teams, feel free. If you are facing any issues, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help out in case you need. And hopefully I can help you out to get started using this, and then you can showcase this to your teams and your company. Okay. Feel free to
Fantastic.
reach out, and probably LinkedIn is one of the easiest ways to reach out, because we receive I receive the pop-ups all the time. all the time. I need to start to mute LinkedIn a bit. Yeah, but that's it.
Awesome. You see, Hugo, you delivering such a great content, insightful information. We just went through like an hour and 40 minutes here. Thank you very much for, making the time to share your knowledge. Folks, remember to like, share, subscribe. Check out the the description section below. You have Hugo's contact information. We are talking about LinkedIn, email. I'm sorry, LinkedIn. We have the LinkedIn, Twitter, and his blog. So do check it out. Great content. Thank you very much, Hugo. And
Thank you very much, everyone. And from my side, just to finalize on my sides, I would like to ask you is, I hope you enjoyed the session. As I said, as I told you, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions after this session. If possible, to help amplify this session to other people, please, if you have a minute, share the link to this YouTube live on your social and tag the user group and also tag myself, so it helps amplify these contents and supports my work as well, our work, because Adrian is here working for us as well to provide these amazing sessions. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great day there. And remember, share, like, subscribe, drop a comment on the video to show your support, share the link. All right. Thank you very much, Hugo. And see you all next time.
Thank you all. Have a great day.